Hello there, today I wanted to record a little sketchbook tour thing. So I just recently finished this sketchbook, well sort of finished, but we'll talk about that as we go along. So I believe that this sketchbook was started in about February and was technically finished at the beginning of September, but I'm gonna say August, so this was sort of February to August time. And this isn't the only sketchbook that I've used within that time frame, because I like to have an A5 and an A4 size sketchbook on the go at once, and then I also have another A5 sketchbook that I use for just doodling and scribbling in and just kind of drawing stuff. But this is art that I actually kind of worked on, so this is a little bit more interesting. I've never recorded a sketchbook tour or a look through my sketchbook type video before, so I don't know if I'm doing it right or if there even is a right way. Let's just jump in. Oh yeah, this is the sketchbook that I use. Here's the little label. I really like the paper in this sketchbook. It was completely by coincidence / by accident, because I only bought this sketchbook because it happened to be on sale for a really good price, so I just got it and thought I'd test it out. But I actually really like the paper in here, so I might try and rebuy it. So page number 1, we have some metallic marker swatches. So we have the Letraset metallic marker, the Docrafts Paper Mania brush markers, and Spectrum Noir metallic markers. These were all swatched here for 2 different videos. This video was comparing these two, and then this video was just testing out these guys. Both of those videos are up on my YouTube channel if you happen to be interested in them and haven't seen them already. I just test out some metallic markers and see how they are. This was the drawing that I did for that first video that I just mentioned, so the video where I tried out these markers. I don't know whether you can kind of tell whether those are metallic. Oh, you can tell a little bit if I shine it in the light. There's some metallic elements there. Yeah, I'm not super happy with how this drawing turned out. I just feel like it's kind of boring and it hasn't really got a lot of interesting elements or anything. It's just kind of a mermaid character with a couple of metallic elements thrown in. I do go over some of the issues that I have with this in the video that includes this drawing. But yeah, partially as well, it was just due to the fact that it was my first video that I was recording for YouTube. Actually, sorry, let me rephrase that. It wasn't my first video. It was the first one that I had a voiceover on top of. It was my first video where I sat down and drew something and had a voiceover on top of it. Previously to that, I had done like speed paint things digitally where I just record my screen as I drew, but those didn't have any voiceover. So this was the start of a new era, we might call it. But I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was incredibly nervous, and I really wanted my setup and the lighting to be good in that video, because I felt like I really needed that. So I recorded it downstairs, because there's a lot more light in one of the rooms downstairs than up here. I now record in a different space, but this first video was recorded in a different room, and it was freezing cold. It was really, really cold in there. So I was freezing the entire time that I drew this. I don't know why I put myself through that, but I just got on with it, and the voiceover sounds terrible in that video because I was cold and nervous and didn't know what I was talking about. Anyway, that's enough about this drawing. Just a little bit of insight. This is my first video with a voiceover. It was pretty bad. Next we have a sketch. This ended up never getting coloured for whatever reason. I don't know, I guess I just didn't like it that much. It was inspired by some artists that I saw on Instagram. There's not really much noteworthy to say about this. I don't really like it. It's okay. It's kind of cute. I can kind of see what I was going for, but it's really not my style. Next, this I think is the first one that actually has a date written on it. Yeah. So this one's clearly labelled as February, but I kind of knew that it was February anyway. This was a redraw / draw this again type thing of this character that I drew the year previous for Valentine's Day. It's not a complete draw this again of that artwork. This is a different, I think, she's wearing a different outfit, her hair is different, but it's supposed to be the same character, kind of, and I drew it a different pose. I still really like this. I don't know what it is about it, but I really like the way I drew the face. I like that colour for the hair a lot. I like the colour combination a lot. If I was redrawing this now, I would change her pose a little bit because I feel like this leg is a little bit strange, just the anatomy of it. So I changed the pose a little bit, but overall, I still really like this. I like it. It's kind of cute. Anyway, moving on. This was, even though it was February, which is a little bit late in the year, this was supposed to be a New Year's type thing. So I think I was seeing a lot of people talking about the fact that it was Year of the Pig, so I drew some little piggies, and they're kind of cute. Also at this time I had just bought my first 3 Copic markers. I only had this darker pink, this lighter pink, and this blue, so I just wanted to include those, and then I had a gold pen already, so I added some little gold elements. I don't know, this was a little bit uninspired, but it's a cute little doodle nonetheless. Here's a little sketch, again another one that I didn't colour. It's practicing more like chibi proportions, I guess. I'm not super into drawing proportions this way. I do really like this hand. I like that hand a lot. I don't hate it, but I mean I never finished it, so that's evidence enough. This was inspired again by some artists that I saw on Instagram. I really admire when people can add a lot of details, a lot of small details into their drawings. So I tried to do something where I added a lot of different little accessories and things and little details. This is also heavily inspired by J Fashion and Fairy K and Decora and stuff. I'm not great at drawing in this style, adding a lot of random accessories and things. I don't know, I'm not really very good at doing that, so I wanted to practice it a little bit and try and improve as much as I possibly could. And I don't hate it, but I also don't like it very much either. I don't know. I'm also, kind of a random side note, I'm really bad at drawing people facing that way rather than that way. You might notice that 90 to 95% of the characters I draw are all facing the same way, at this kind of 3/4 angle. Yeah. Ooh, that one's the other way. But the majority of them are facing that way. So I have been consciously, over the past year, been trying to draw things from different angles and just practice more stuff. So this is another one that I tried to add more details into because I was into practicing small details and things. So this is a character just kind of looking kind of elegant. There's some like jewels I think sketched around here, and there's a lot of jewels kind of on the head. I guess this is some sort of headdress type thing, and she's holding a flower that is a heart. I don't know why, just something I wanted to include. Again, not coloured. This one's not coloured either, but I was carrying on this same inspiration, I suppose, from the previous couple. But this is like a little doggy themed one with little dog faces. It's kind of cute. I tried to colour this digitally, but I never finished the digital one either, I don't think. Not really much noteworthy to say about that, I suppose. Another sketch, I promise. There will be some coloured stuff soon. But this is a sketch just of a character. I quite like this actually, although overall it's a little bit boring. I feel like it doesn't really have a theme to it. There's nothing really interesting to say about it. I do like this way that the hair was drawn, kind of blowing one way. I don't know. Finally, we have one that's actually coloured. This was inspired by an outfit on Limeplay. I don't know whether anyone is aware of that app. There's an app called Limeplay, which is kind of like... Oh, I need to update. Okay, I'm not going to do that. It's kind of like you get a little avatar and you can dress them and you can get new outfits, and there are games and it's a community and you can talk to people around the world. Anyway, I used to be obsessed with this app. I played it for like 3 straight years. Like every day I was opening the app, getting my daily gems and like stuff, you know? I used to play it a lot, and this was one of the outfits that I happened to have, and I wanted to draw it because I liked it and I thought it was cute, so I drew it. I still really like the eyes. This was the start of an ongoing obsession that I have with drawing eyes in this particular way, where I give them like eye makeup. I just like to draw this like little crease above the eye, and then when I colour it, I like to go in with like a dark colour and like go over it so that it kind of looks like they're wearing eye makeup. And I do that a lot now. I don't know, it's like a nice little touch that I like to add to my drawings. And it was originally inspired by the eyes that you can get on Line Play. So that's that. I don't really like this drawing overall, like the proportions are really weird, but I like the colours. Next up, this was posted to Instagram. I don't know when, let me find out. It is signed, but it doesn't have a date on, but I posted this to Instagram on the 27th of May, so this was around May time. I actually really like this. I really like the eyes. Again, I did that thing where I started to add a little bit more detail into the eyes than I used to. Oh, and the hair is really sparkly. I used the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. I actually really like this. I put a lot of thought into the colour palette. I feel like it didn't really come across quite in the way that I wanted it to, but I still like it. It's quite a different colour palette to a lot of my other stuff, because a lot of my other artwork is very pastel coloured or using a lot of pinks, and it's quite cutesy, I suppose, but this was a different thing that I wanted to do, and I quite like it. There's still a lot of things I would change about this if I could, but I like it. It's not that bad. Ooh, next up, little sketch. I drew this little frog. I'm not very good at drawing like cartoony animals and stuff, and I'm not good at drawing like backgrounds and flowers, and yeah, I really, that's a big weak spot for me. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, but I felt like drawing this little frog, so there it is. Next up, this was my Easter drawing for this year. I really like this. I really like it. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it, but overall, I like it. I really like this combination of colours that I use for the hair with the kind of purple shading. I just feel like those particular markers go together really, really well. I like the overall colour palette. It's very Easterish, the pink and blue and yellow. I drew this originally and I pressed down a little too hard with my pencil, so the pencil lines kind of didn't erase properly. So if you zoom in really close, there's a lot of just like drawing errors with this. Like you can see where the pencil wasn't fully erased, and it kind of ruins her face too if I kind of get a close-up of the face. I'm not sure whether you can see that. This was the first time that I had outlined the hand. Well, I'm not sure if it was the very, very, very first time, but the first time I consciously outlined the hands with white to make them pop forward a little bit so that they didn't get confused with the image. I mean, you're kind of supposed to draw with a clear silhouette anyway, aren't you? But I wanted her hands to be in front of her holding the basket, so I added a little bit of a white outline, and I like the way it looks. I think this is cute overall. I don't like this skirt. I don't know what I was thinking. Ooh, sketch. Yeah, I was feeling a little bit uninspired, so I never finished this one, but it's just kind of a character holding a butterfly, and there's butterflies, and I remember I was gonna use like a lot of purples, probably a lot of darker purples too, and then make the butterflies really bright to kind of pop out, but I don't know, it never really worked. This would work better digitally, I think, so I could add some glow effects and stuff to the butterflies. I don't know, I was thinking it was like a night scene with these butterflies that are like glowing really bright, you know? It was a cute idea, but I never finished it. This drawing was done for a video. This was me trying the Spectrum Noir metallic markers, and that video is up on YouTube. I don't know whether you can kind of see the little metallic elements. Again, I feel like I don't know why I didn't include the metallic markers even more. I actually quite like this. This eye bothers me. It looks weird. I'm not sure. It's a little bit too small, I feel like, compared to the other one. There are little things about this that bother me. But overall, I don't hate it. And again, I was working with a colour palette that I probably wouldn't normally use, so it's a little bit outside my comfort zone. I really enjoyed it. It's nice. This next one was a Draw This in Your Style. So the original is by Ghoulkiss. Yeah, and there are a few things that I don't really like about this. I feel like the anatomy with the head got a little bit lost, and I didn't really make it clear enough that this hair is supposed to be like behind her. So it just kind of looks like the hair is wonky on her head, I guess. So there's a couple of different issues with this in terms of the anatomy of the way that I drew it. But overall I like it, and I like the color choices that I chose, and I feel like these eyes look pretty. The way that I kind of shaded with the pink. That was very heavily inspired by the original, because Ghoulkiss's artwork is very, very good and very beautiful. But yeah, I like this. I don't hate it. There's things about it that I don't like, but overall, it's okay. I like this drippy effect too. I like doing that a lot in drawings. Next up, this I remember really wanting to draw something that would thumbnail well. I was kind of into this idea of making things look really good for Instagram, and at the time I wanted to use colors. I wanted to use colors that popped really well, so this black background with the bright yellow, and also something that thumbnailed really well, so having this block color in the background and having the character raised above that. But yeah, I just wanted to draw something that kind of I felt like would thumbnail well, so that's why I made the decisions that I did. I'm not really sure why this blue is thrown in. I can't decide whether I like it or not. But yeah, I still really like this, and this was, I was going back to my roots with using coloured pencils on top of marker, which I hadn't done for a while. I used to do it a lot in a lot of my old artwork, and then I stopped doing it, and then I started doing it again. And now I'm very much in a place where I really enjoy doing it. So yeah, this image was one that I had gone over with a soft shading with pencil as well. Again, there's things that could be improved. I think I look back on all of my old artwork, and by old artwork I'm referring to any artwork that's not done today. So even yesterday's artwork, I always look back on stuff and think, I could have improved that, I could have improved that, but that's the way it is, that's the name of the game. So I think I'm always searching for improvement. Next up, this one was filmed for a video. This was a 3-marker challenge that I did with all of my metallic and neon and it's like kind of strange pens, I suppose, that aren't just your bog standard alcohol markers. And I drew this little witch character. I still really like this. There's so many things about this that I really don't like. Parts of the anatomy and stuff. But considering it was a 3-marker challenge, I like this character. I think she's cute, and I'd like to redraw her one day. Not my best work, but it's alright. Next up, we have another 3-marker challenge. So I really enjoyed filming this first one, and picking from metallic markers and doing this 3-marker challenge thing. So I actually made 3 videos, picking combinations of 3 markers and trying to create an image out of them. So this was the second one. I don't like this very much. I don't really know what to say about it. I don't know what I was thinking, but I don't like it very much. I do like that I was trying to be more cartoonish and just having fun with it. And actually my character, like one of my newer original characters, is very cartoony and kind of in this sort of style. And I feel like it's fun sometimes to just do that very overly cartoony style. So I like that I kind of let loose a little bit and did that, but overall I'm not really keen on this, to be quite honest with you. Next up, this was this a Draw This in Your Style? I think it was just a contest to draw this person's character. So this is someone that I follow on Instagram. And I'll throw up their name on the screen because I'm blanking right now. I'm sorry. And I quite like it. I like that I got the opportunity to use some bright reds. I really like this. It's cute. I don't know, again, things about it that I would change. I'm pretty sure I'm going to say that about every single one of these images. There's things about it I'd like to change, but yeah, I like it. It's cute. I don't know. I like it. This one, my goodness. I hate the face on this character. Look at it. It's terrible. What was I thinking? So I really wanted to practice drawing hair, and I wanted to do this kind of long flowing, sort of slightly curly, shiny hair. So I drew this character facing kind of that way, but she's kind of got her head turned over her shoulder, I guess. I really like the colour palette on this one. I think it's really cute, and I quite like the way that this hand is drawn. Yeah, I don't always draw good hands, but I like this one. The face is just terrible though. I don't know what I was thinking. I still posted this to Instagram, but I really don't like the face. I don't know, needs improvement. And the hair too. I mean, I drew this for practice on drawing hair, and I'm still learning. Hair is something that I really struggle with, but yeah, there we go. This one was inspired by a colour palette. I really liked this really peachy pink colour and yellow and green, and I thought it was quite summery, and I really like this one. I don't know, I just felt like drawing something with this particular colour palette, and it's a pretty simple drawing, but I feel like the colour palette really brings it together, and I like it, it's cute. And I really like this yellow colour. It's like one of my favourite colours, is this very specific shade of yellow. I really like it. So this was the third in that installment of three marker challenge videos. So this was the first one, this was the second one, and this was the third one. And I quite like it. I feel like it's really simple. It's really difficult when you're doing a 3 marker challenge. I'd love to go back in and like colour everything and think more about what other colours I could use, but because I could only use 3 markers, this was kind of the best I could do. I liked the idea of doing a little like jellyfish character. I don't know, it's not the best, but it's okay. To be really honest, I'm not keen on this one. It's okay, but I feel like I really messed up the skin tone. I really was determined to practice drawing a darker skin tone. I try and do that. Sometimes I try not to stay within my comfort zone and draw the exact same skin tone every single time, so I do try and mix it up as much as I can, but I feel like I messed up just with the colouring and it looks really weird. The blush on the face looks just wrong, so I'd love to redraw this at some point and fix the issues with it. I'm really disappointed at how it came out because I liked the concept of splitting it down the middle and doing pink and blue. I thought it was really cute, sort of candy floss inspired. I really like this. I like the colours, the overall concept. I don't like this particular image. I mean, I like the concept. So I'd love to go back and redraw this at some point and make it better, because I feel like at the moment it's not very good. Just the way that I coloured it. Yeah, not keen. I'd love to give that another go at some point. This was another draw this in your style. And I quite like this. I actually really like, I did that kind of thing with the hair again where it sort of looks blustery, I suppose I want to say, like the wind is blowing and the hair's kind of flying up. And I like the effect that it gives here, and I like the colour choice, the sort of yellow in the background, the bright yellow to kind of frame the character too. So I quite like this as an image. Actually, there's not a lot that I don't like about it. I really like this one. I don't know what it is about it. I think the colour choice is good. I really put effort into the pose, making it look a little bit more dynamic by making the clothes kind of fly in different directions. I think that it looks good. I'm pretty proud of this one, to be quite honest. Next up, this was for a video too. This was for my Monster Girl Maker randomized challenge video. I like this. Again, there's issues with it, which I actually explained in the video about it looking a little bit too busy around the edges. I would have liked a clearer silhouette. I feel like this arm is lost with the hair in the background and that kind of thing. But I like it, it's cute. And I mean, there's a lot of colours going on and stuff, but that was because it was a randomised challenge, so I was trying to draw the character that was randomised. Overall, I think I like this one. I don't have a lot to say about it, except what was said in the actual video. Right, these next 3 were all draw this in your style drawings that I did for Instagram, so these 3, again, I'll show like screenshots of the original artists. This one's probably my favourite, and that has nothing to do with the original artist, by the way, sorry. Sorry to the other 2 artists for messing up my versions of your drawings, but this one's my favourite. I like the colour choice in the hair and the way that I kind of go from that really bright orange to this really like light yellow and kind of blended it. I don't know, I like it. So I like the colour choices in this one the best out of the 3 of them, and I like what I did with the hair. I really tried to make it, again, I was just trying to add something dynamic to it and make it a little less stationary, I suppose. I'm trying to do that with my artwork, is just add a little bit of movement into everything, because I feel like things like this, although I like it, it's very stationary. And I really like the ones where I add just that little bit of movement in, so that's something that I've been trying to work on recently. Again, this is a draw this in your style. I really liked the original drawing. I really like the original drawings of the 3 of these. Yeah, I feel like I messed up a little bit with the hair up here, but I like the colours. I really like the colour choice with this one. I don't hate it. I don't know, I feel like it was a little bit rushed maybe. Same with this one. I really like the colour choices. I mean, it was very much inspired by the original colour palette of the original artist, but again, I feel like this silhouette is very closed. If I were drawing it again, I'd maybe try and open up the silhouette a little bit. And just little things I would draw better. I feel the eyes they're not very good. I feel like the anatomy is a little bit off. So yeah, I would try and improve upon this if possible, but yeah. Oh my goodness, this was a completely failed drawing. This was actually for a video, and I just abandoned it because I just wasn't feeling it at all. I redrew it a couple of times and it was not working out properly. I really don't like this very much. But yeah, I just abandoned this one, unfortunately. This drawing, funnily enough, I struggled with this drawing a lot. I was feeling really uninspired and a little bit art blocked. I was trying to draw something and I kind of threw together this sketch that I kind of didn't like very much. It was just sort of a sketch of a character standing. I really tried to put effort into the colouring, and I added the lollipop afterwards, I think, as like an extra element, and then I did this little bit of detailing in the background, and did this kind of crosshatch-ish shading in a couple of different areas, and then when it was finished, I really ended up liking it a lot, and also it got some good feedback. Like, this got the most likes out of my recent Instagram posts at the time. But this was received really well, despite the fact that I had struggled with it a little bit. And again, I was doing this thing with the bright colours on the eyelids. I really liked it. This was a redraw of an old drawing that I did a long time ago, and this was for a video. These two were drawn in the same video. Which I'll link somewhere, probably in the card in the corner. Is that what they're called, cards? I don't know. Not very good at this YouTube thing, am I? I really like this. I talk about both of these a lot in the video that I already filmed when I was drawing them. So I don't really feel like there's anything more that needs to be reiterated about these. I like them. They're not perfect. This one I really like. There's a couple of mistakes here and there, but I overall really like it. This one was out of order. Like, I sketched this quite a long time before I coloured it, so a lot of the drawings after this were posted online before this one was, and then I went back and finished it. So this is a fairly recent one that I ended up finishing. I think it's cute and sweet, and I like the colour palette, and the line art is quite bright. Again, there's a few things I'd change if I were redrawing it, but I like it. I like it very much. This was another 3 marker challenge that I did, just with normal markers this time. I don't hate it, but I also don't like it that much. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. I wanted to film a video on that day. I picked the markers out randomly, and I don't know, I ended up with this. It's not great. It's not great. I don't know what to say. This was a draw this in your style. This is one of my favourite drawings I've ever done. I don't even, like, can we look at this for a sec? So, the story behind this is just that I wanted to do this draw this in your style that I saw, but for some reason I went ahead and was like, yeah, sure, I'll do this draw this in your style, and I sketched it, and I just really like how it turned out, especially the colouring. Not necessarily the drawing, because there's a few things I'd change. I don't really like the mouth and this hand particularly. The rest of it's okay. But the way that I coloured this was really, something clicked into place when I drew this, and I really like the way the hair is shaded. I really like that I added different little elements of different colours to tie the whole palette together. Like, I added a little bit of yellow here. There's a little bit of yellow and pink in the skin, even though the skin isn't necessarily fully that colour. I just added these tiny little elements here and there, and I love it. This is one of the pieces that I'm most proud of. Honestly, I really like it very much. And I've tried to recreate this style a few times, and I feel like I haven't quite perfected it yet. Like, this was beginner's luck at this new style that I was creating with the colouring. But I really like it a lot. Next up, this is another one like that other one that I drew. Same story. This one. Same kind of story. I was really uninspired. I kind of threw some colours at the page. I actually really love this colour palette, the way that the colour palette ended up, and the way that it's shaded and it's quite bold. I really like it, but the anatomy is really bad. I don't really like it as a drawing. It's a little bit boring, but I really like the colour palette, so I might go back and draw something in this same colour palette with these same exact markers in the future. This was my upside down challenge video that I did for YouTube. Again, I won't dwell on this one too much. You can go back and watch my upside down challenge if you would like to. This again was for a video. A lot of these are for video. I didn't realize how many of these were for videos. This was a redraw of a really old drawing of mine that I've redrawn a couple of times over the years. And I wanted to do it traditionally because all of the previous ones were digital, but I like the colours and I really like the line art and I like the blue that I chose to use. So yeah, it's nice. Oh, a sketch that I never finished. This was supposed to be a summary thing. I remember the day I drew this. I was so uninspired. I tried to draw so many different things and none of it was working out. Just have days like that sometimes, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I never finished it because I never really liked it very much, to be honest. This was a drawing of my character. My Draw This In Your Style contest that I did on Instagram a little while back. This is that same character, but the original drawing for the Draw This In Your Style was in a different sketchbook. It was in my A4 bigger sketchbook, but this was a drawing that I did of the same character as a reminder that the contest was ending. So I redrew the same character for that in a different outfit, but kind of tried to keep the same themes. Like I kept the same like hair accessories, but I did the hairstyle a little different, and she's wearing the same necklace but the shirt is different, so I tried to keep it the same but different, you know? I don't know whether it worked, but there you go. This is another Draw This In Your Style. I really like the hair. I don't know what I did, but I added a little bit of extra shading into the hair and I really feel like it works really well. Again, same thing as I've said about most of these drawings in this sketchbook. There's a lot of things I would change, but overall, I really like it. This is one that I like. The hands look okay, the face looks okay, I really like the shading on the hair. Cute. This is one that I never ended up posting anywhere. I don't know why, but I just didn't feel like it was good enough to photograph and post for whatever reason. I don't really remember the exact reason why, but I was inspired again by J Fashion and Decora and stuff. I wanted to draw something very bright with a lot of accessories, so we've got like a lot of hair accessories here and this like cute monster hat and patches on the shirt. It's cute. I like it. Oh my goodness, this was another Draw This In Your Style, and the original was by Gulkis. I never finished it. I don't know why I never finished it. I think I was just really busy. Yeah, I just had a busy week, I think. So this was, I feel bad, I wasted so much of this paper. Maybe I'll sketch something down here at some point. But these were the swatches for a video that I made fairly recently. So I made a video testing out these markers, and again I'll link that video somewhere if you want to go and watch it if you're interested. But I started up a little series thing where I test whether art supplies are actually pastel when they claim to be, so these say pastel on. So I did a little test and I did these swatches, and then on the next page, actually not on the next page, on the page after, okay, was the drawing that I did in that video, testing these markers out. I don't know why I skipped a page. I think that was just an accident. I think I drew this and then flipped and drew this and then realised there was a page missing, so then I went back and anyway, doesn't matter. This was a drawing that I did as a prize for the winner of my Draw This In Your Style contest, who is wonderful, and this is their original character. So I hope I did the character justice. I don't know whether this is exactly how the character is supposed to look, but I did my best based on the reference images. It's probably a lot brighter, I think, than the references I was sent. So now this is the very final page. I really wanted to get this finished before I filmed this. I didn't have the right colours for it, so I've ended up making the decision to just leave it for now. Unfortunately, I really would have liked to have this finished, but this is one of my original characters, the Starcatcher, and I'll throw up some old art of her, I suppose. But her skin is like a bright pink. Maybe not bright pink, and in the middle kind of pink. But I don't really have a pink marker at the moment that's working properly, so I really want to find one that's the right colour before I go ahead and colour this, because there's obviously a lot of space here that I need to colour. But But yeah, I'm excited to finish this one of these days, but it's also a good demonstration of the kind of coloured line work that I've been doing recently with fine liners. So there you go, that's every single page in here. So, like I said, it's not 100% finished because I still want to go back in and colour this when I have a marker appropriate for it. That's all the pages in the sketchbook. So now I'm excited to start a new one and draw some new stuff. Yeah.